Is it Porsche or Porsche?
So that's a debate me and my
Porsche.
wife have too. So I guess like out in England and India, like around those area, people call it Porsche. And here
Porsche.
we have like a
Porsche.
accent here, like a robotic accent. We all call it
Por-
Porsche here.
Porsche.
Yeah,
Porsche.
because I
Check out
think it's
my
that
Porsche.
the e at the end is pronounced like the over in like the on the European side of the world.
Oh yeah, then yeah, I
So
get.
yeah, they pronounce it like Porsche, whereas here we don't. The e is silent, so we just kind of like say, "Oh, it's Porsche."
Then how come we don't say
Yeah.
Toyota instead of Toyota? We say Toyota.
Wait, what about Toyota? Toyota.
Because the a is at the end of the Toyota.
Toyota.
How is it that much different from an E? A-E-I-O-U.
Wait, hang on. Can you repeat the question again? 'Cause you lost me for a second.
How
You lost me for a second.
how is a word ending in A so much different from a word ending in E?
The English language is weird because, I mean, you know, like the letter K, we normally pronounce it like, you know, K, the hard K, but in words like not like tying a knot, the K is silent.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what's the deal there?
So the other thing that's
The English language is weird.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff like we have the same words like there, and there. There's like
That too.
where's, there's. So it's like, and you know, it's like that kind of gets me too. Like you know, like about like English and grammar that kind of screws me up. Like I
Don't forget your as well. You have your and your.
the words like that. Like,
Through, and
I-
thorough.
like horrible at like distinguishing which one to use,
Or like spelling wise, yeah.
and I get corrected a lot.
Yeah, one time back when I was like in middle school, we were supposed to, if we made a mistake in writing the wrong there, like you wrote the wrong there in whatever situation,
You got
they
hit with
make
a
you write
spatula.
it.
Not spatula. Making paddle. Paddle. What am I saying?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't that bad. But we had to write it like we had to write like a sentence using the correct version of that there, like 100 times or something ridiculous. And so I went to go do it. I had to do that because I did it wrong. And when I was writing it 100 times and I went to turn it in, I didn't catch this until later. But apparently, I wrote it wrong 100 times.
Oh no!
I think the teacher was. I realized later, but the teacher didn't say anything because I think she felt bad.
Would too. But that reminds me of like when I was in like I got like detention. I think because I think I like because I was like pranking this kid and the coach in elementary school and yeah like the professor the teacher what am I saying the teacher made me write like don't do this like don't do that like a bunch of sentences like saying that.
Yeah,
I was a very rowdy kid and stuff.
So for some strange reason, Caesar's story reminds me of the time I used to be in class. I used to be in a class, special ed, a while back. In there, I remember there was, like a kid named Zachary, whatever. He had like anger issues, and like a couple of times, like he got in like a fight with like a random kid, and then every time, like I happened to be there, and like a couple of like other kids happened to be there, and then we'd all have to go to the office and we'd have to write like an essay on what happened.
Wait, why did you have to write an essay for something that somebody else did?
An
So, I don't
accessory
know.
to murder.
The principal was like, "Oh, you guys have to tell me exactly what happened." So we're like, all right, it was the worst punishment ever because it happened like every other day. You'd get in a fight with like random dudes just coming from their breaks.
Yeah.
Bruh, I had to like
Speaking
write
about
100
crazy-
times the same sentence because I was being a bad boy. Because back then I don't know why I did it. I was just being dumb. Like there's this kid in class and like like was in class and like I was like we were doing like group stuff and like I pranked a kid. So I pranked a kid. I told him, hey, yeah, sit down. But there's like no seat and like just sit down and like I made him fall. Like there's no
did you
seat
do
there
the thing
to
where you
sit.
pulled the chair out from under him?
Sort of.
Oh, because I did that before.
I think I did. Mine is worse because I kept saying it, and then he he did it. He complied, and like I felt bad. And then I was out in the sun for like a day, and
Oh, okay.
and then like during recess, and also I had to write like, oh yeah, don't do this. Like you gotta 100 times a sentence of the same thing. Like I won't do this. I'm not gonna do this thing. You know what I mean? Like the same thing. Repeat the same thing.
Yeah.
Same sentence. But yeah. But yes, I used to be a naughty boy.
The thing I remember when I got my first detention, well, that was my only detention actually, but I was in PE and got his name. His name was no. Yeah, I forgot his name. But yeah, basically he was throwing a pencil at me, and like we were supposed to be on our numbers, and I picked it up, and every time, I swear to God, I get caught every time. Like when I throw the pencil back, if the teacher's right there and they see me.
Yeah.
Exactly
Wasn't that Devin?
Devin, yes, Devin, yeah,
Because I remember
him.
you told me this once.
Yeah, so and apparently that was like both of our first time ever getting detention, and it wasn't like as bad as I thought it would be. Like for some strange reason, I thought like the principal would yell at you, "Hey, you guys been totally bad, disruptive, blah blah blah." But it was just literally we sat on a table, and he's like, "What happened?" And then we're just like, "Yeah, we were just kind of out of our numbers, and we're messing around." And then he's like, "Oh, okay, just sign this paper and head back to your class."
Oh,
Well,
okay.
you guys are so lucky. I had to like sit in the freaking sun. It was unbearable. It was like 100 degrees outside
that's messed
during
up.
recess, bruh. And then like, yeah.
Was that during elementary school?
Yeah.
Where you had a sentence? Yeah, you see, that's the thing too, because I remember being in elementary school. They
I
had
hate
like these they had these benches out that there's this gate that they have to open in order to let the kids go out into the playground during recess.
Huh?
But before you can get to that gate, there's like these benches that are lined across that gate. And if you behaved badly, they made you sit on those benches until recess was over. Then that happened to me one time as well. So I can sympathize with you on that, Cesar.
It's horrible. But like for me,
it's stupid. It sucks.
Bro, like I could get skin cancer. I could like freaking save from the heat. What the fuck? And like what's funny is that like they would give you like a recess detention or like the tiniest thing. Like, oh yeah, you forgot to do your homework? Sit outside in the freaking damn sun. Like, my God.
I remember regarding,
but it did teach me to be punctual and do all my homework after a while. Even though it was I had to learn through punishment and torture.
Yeah.
You know, regarding that statement you made, the whole they would punish you for the smallest thing. I remember this one kid. Actually, during elementary school, I don't know if you guys had to do this as well, but when I was in elementary school, we had these planners, like these calendars, and for every day that we would do our homework, we had to get a signature from our parents. And there's this one kid in my class, I forget what grade I was in, but there's one kid in my class who forgot to get a signature, and they made him sit on the bench for that. They punished him for that.
Oh, dang.
And it's like, oh God, you know, it's really stupid.
I only got detention once, and it was for the dumbest reason, because I made friends with this kid. He was kind of like the bad kid in elementary school. His name is Gage. I don't know if you remember him.
I know.
Yeah. And one day he was like, he showed me, he used to sit by the curb next to the parking lot and throw tan bark from the playground at the cars. And I thought that was so cool. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that too. And then one day we did it for several days. And it wasn't until like the third or fourth time we did it where we were throwing tan bark at cars where the yard duty came up to us and was like, stop that right now. And then she like grabbed my wrist really hard and like took us to the principal's office. And that was the first and only time I've ever gotten detention, I think. Yeah.
Joey, that totally reminds me of the time when I was hella young with my cousin, and for some strange reason, we thought it was a smart idea to get rocks and throw them behind pickup trucks. And it was the weirdest thing ever because me and my cousin remember till this point that the location we were at, there was like no way that they could have just saw our face and find out where our house was. And till this date, we still can't remember. Like, I threw a rock into someone's pickup truck. But right when I got home, like, my whole family knew, and they're like, what did you guys do? Like, we just got a call that you guys were throwing rocks or something like that. And we got, like, in trouble, but till this date, me and my cousin talk about it, and we don't remember how they exactly knew that that was our house.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, I guess I kind of have a similar story to that. At the old house that I used to live at, there's these guys that, well, this was like, I want to say maybe during middle school. There's these guys that would hang out in the neighborhood. And then there was like the park, there was the neighborhood park there. It was fairly big, but it wasn't like, you know, enough to be able to go golfing on. And
I know I know. Wait, I think I was with you once. What happened?
So,
I think
what my dad one time brought home like these golf clubs, and I was like, okay, cool. I guess I could try these out on the park out in front. And so I wasn't really doing anything too, I guess you can say extreme with it. Like I would hit it far enough to the point where it could travel like a good amount of like a good distance, but nothing too. But I wanted to hit the ball to the point where it's like gonna fly over people's houses. But this one time, I was hanging out with one of the guys, like I said, and he was also into golfing. He was actually my next door neighbor at the time, and he brought out his golf club, but it was the driver. It's the one, you know, it's the big driver that people use to hit at the beginning of the golf match to like get the ball to travel really far.
Yeah.
And what he did was he put the ball down on the grass, of course, on the park. He hit it, he smacks it, and it flies over, like it flies over people's houses. You know, flies over like the fence and whatnot. And so we kind of just ran away, and you know, we decided to forget about it for that day.
Scram.
And then that same day, I went with my dad. We went to the store and whatnot, and then my dad receives a call from my mom. And my dad is looking at me while this call is going on, and he asked me, "So were you playing golf out in the park today?"
Oh,
and
no.
my heart just drops.
How did he know?
Because like the neighbor, he lives right straight like the neighbor who was complaining about this golfing incident. He lives across from the park, so like opposite of where. Like, so essentially, he lived on the side where the ball would have like landed into his yard. It could have like broke a window and whatnot. And but what happened is the ball actually hit the windshield of his truck.
Oh,
and
dang.
I guess he was I guess you could say he quote unquote calculated the trajectory, or like he kind of took like an educated guess from where the ball could have like came from.
Yeah.
And so he was asking the houses who lived nearby the park, like where, like, you know, where the ball might have like came from and whatnot. And when my dad like told me about it, I was like, nope, I did not play golf. Nope, I didn't do anything. Nope. Besides, it wasn't even me who hit the golf ball. It was like next door, the kid that lived next door.
Yeah.
So like I wasn't to blame. I was just there watching. But you know, I didn't snitch on him, and I didn't like say anything else. I just said nope, I didn't do anything.
Little did you know that guy was a mathematician, and he literally just pulled out a protractor and calculated exactly where the ball came from.
Yeah, and also the kid who hit the ball that landed in the guy's windshield, he actually played golf tournaments. He played in golf tournaments as well. So
weird coincidence.
He was well versed in playing golf and
Mr. High and Mighty
tournaments and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it's like, I think it's like maybe the same park maybe that we went to, Danny. But like, it's like a party there, and like there's like a, you know, it's like a pond where they have ducks and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Are you? Yeah.
It's like a
There's
coffee
like a library nearby. There's a hall
yeah,
and
and
whatnot. Yeah.
yeah, there's like a party
I
there. Like they always had parties there, and I was always like invited. And I don't know if you were there, maybe. So like, there's like a golf course, like a on the side of it, a small golf
yeah.
course, I think. And all the kids at the party were like, "Oh yeah, I don't want to be inside," so they just went outside and were like walking over the grass, the special nice looking grass for golf. And I also did that.
Yeah.
And me and the bunch of the kids got yelled at, so we had to leave.
Yeah, because so the party it was being thrown at by like where the hall is, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So the area around the hall and the area where the golf course is, they're two separate areas. So if you step onto the golf course, you can get in trouble and you can get yelled at. So you have to stay in the area where like the hall is. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. They actually they filled up the lake, the little lagoon there that they have.
I like it.
So they filled it up. There's no more ducks. There's no more pond.
That sucks.
Speaking of lakes, it reminds me of a time when, when I was really young, I had this obsession with like, frogs and like fishes and stuff like that. So, like one time, like we were at like a park like you guys are talking about,
Mhm.
and like me and my cousin were like just walking, and these little kids were like they're our age actually, sorry, but they were like, oh, there's a bunch of cool fish up in this lake right here, and I was like, oh my god, really? And I had like brand new clothes on, and I just like ran into the lake and
What? What?
like look inside to see whatever fish there were, and like I just remember like being like soaked and drenched in like dirty creek water all the way
Oh
from
no.
my stomach down, and my mom just grabbed me from my arm and she's like, "What are you doing? Up for the birthday party and now you're all dirty and stuff." And like,
Oh
yeah,
man.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's all right. Welcome to FANdamentals podcast. Yeah, I guess we went on a tangent and on our crazy adventures in our youth. And okay, I'm your host Cesar, with my other host Joey and
Yo.
Danny,
Hello.
and our special guest Jaskaran, Jazzy.
Yup.
He's the car guy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he's the guy we mentioned in the previous podcast episodes.
Yup.
I'm choking. I'm
Yeah,
choking.
this is him.
Choking on my saliva. What the fuck? Okay. Yes.
Don't do that.
What? Don't do that.
Don't choke.
Don't choke on your saliva.
Okay. Yeah. Once I'm 80, old people. Off topic. Old people choke on their saliva.
Do they? That's weird
Yeah.
because I
Yeah,
actually
they
do that.
do.
I actually do that.
Yeah.
Am I old?
I know that because I see my dad.
Like Jaskaran seen me just randomly choke out of nowhere.
Yeah, Joey actually had to get by like stuff that you can't even get hurt by. Like this guy touches a tree and gets like a billion splinters. Like,
What the heck?
oh, how?
That's why I stay indoors all the time. Because I'm pretty sure if I'm out too long, I'll just die.
Joey's room is like his Joey's room is his safe space where like he's like trapped in like a bubble, like protected from like viruses, germs, injuries. He's just stuck in there.
The walls have to be padded as well.
Reinforced
Yeah,
Because
concrete.
you never know. Yeah.
Joey could literally break a bone right now if he was so careless enough.
Yeah. No, like even like one time Jaskaran was over and I was just randomly spinning in my chair and I just fly. This happened multiple times. I'd fly off of it.
I was just like, ow. Like 1 second spinning and the second he's just on both of his knees on the ground. And I'm like, bro.
Did he sing the song Helicopter? when you were
No,
flying
that wasn't
off?
a thing yet, but I probably
Oh.
would have.
You should have filmed it. I would have liked to see
Yeah,
it.
like,
Yeah.
there's so much stuff. So much crazy stuff we do that should have been filmed. You know
Yeah,
what?
that could have been on
Elon
America's
Musk-
Funniest Videos. Home videos.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? Elon Musk was right. We should get like a chip in our brain so we can record stuff. Record our memories.
I'm
I'm
not going to be the first person to get a brain implant. I'm going to wait many, many, many years and generations for them to work out all the kinks before I decide to get something as permanent as that.
Wait, so you're considering it? You're considering it?
I mean, if it lets me like join like virtual worlds like SAO, like I can close my eyes and play a video game, then yeah, I would do it.
The cool thing about it, it probably would like work to like regulate your blood. You think about it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I guess so. For like, maybe it could have health benefits. I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm not too keen on having a chip installed on my brain.
Yeah, who wants to be hacked? Like, they're gonna hack your brain.
Danny wants to put a freaking potato chip inside his brain.
No.
Not a chip, a potato chip.
Why put a potato chip in my brain when I could put it in my mouth? You know, I'd rather eat it than just let it sit in my brain and disintegrate and rot.
You never know. Maybe you could like favor it more. Like it just stays there like in stasis. You know?
Stasis?
Yeah. Stasis.
Stasis from a potato chip in the brain?
Yes. Yes.
Wait, who's gonna be in stasis? Me or the potato chip?
The potato chip.
Wait, what?
Wait.
How? Never mind. How is a potato chip in the brain? How is that a thing?
I don't know. Like, Caesar's the one who brought it up.
Okay. It was just a pun. Like just a pun. Like
the chip in the brain. It up, and now we're arguing whether or not like a potato chip. Would
if a potato chip was in your brain, you would die.
I know that. Yeah. Have you tried it?
Well, I guess we'll find out right now. Hold up.
They have it in right there. Waiting.
We'll find out live.
Live on Live Leak. Yes.
Have you guys ever like visited that Live Leak website?
No, I never knew about it. I never knew about it until like way older and like I never knew about it until last year.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know about that. I guess he's kind of
good. I
feel
like I see things I shouldn't see, and I actually just don't go there anymore.
All the Live Leak stuff are now on Reddit.
Well, it's Live Leak is still worse. Like the Reddit stuff, I feel like it's watered down, depending on the subreddit, I guess. But
I've seen pretty bad stuff, like pretty bad.
Like how bad though?
Like a face open like a split face open up, like a person's like real gore with like an accident or something.
Oh, I see.
Even
I remember
even like there's like a video I saw where like a guy there was like at an airport. He instantly died live on camera. Like he was working at an airport and like he tried to like move the fan. It's like a fan in like the airport, and like I think it's like in like the Middle East or Egypt or something. And he grabbed onto the fan. I think the cable, and for some reason like it shocked him completely. And like he has this other employee like he like making signs like, oh, help me, I'm free me. Didn't talk, and like he just got fried by the electricity. And yeah, it's sad. It'll start.
I think Live Leak was taken down.
Yeah,
apparently in 2021. It says RIP Live Leak.
That's how I knew it was. That's how I knew about Live Leak when it disappeared.
Yeah.
I remember one of the worst things I've seen, I guess, on the internet. I remember, but this wasn't on Live Leak or Reddit. It was actually a Facebook page. There's this guy who went live on his Facebook account, and he was just sitting in his room, and I guess the backstory was that he was depressed. His girlfriend cheated on him, I think. And so what he then does is he takes like, I think it was a shotgun to the face.
Oh my god!
He commits suicide live on Facebook.
Yeah. I saw that one, bro. We're so messed up. I saw it on Reddit.
Yeah, it was just like it was just shocking. I didn't know what to expect.
I feel like I'm getting my first taste of like the badness of the internet like right now, as I'm like in college. I'm like, when I was like in high school, middle school, like I didn't know there was such a thing as that. Like not until I got older.
Yeah, same. And honestly, I'm I'm kind of happy that I'm starting to. I guess that the recognition that I have for like the dark side of the web is happening now rather than when I was a kid.
It would mess up a kid.
Yeah,
it would have messed me up when I was younger if I was younger.
For sure.
And I'm just like, okay, next video.
No, yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like it's crazy what can be allowed on the internet.
I watched Game of Thrones,
Mhm.
and Thrones. It wasn't a real video, like you guys are mentioning real ones. Well, in Game of Thrones, there was a scene where the dude like grabs this other dude's head and smushes it, kind of.
Oh.
What do you mean by smush? Like he just squeezes it between his hands, or like he just curb stomps him on the ground, or
He like just grabs the dude and just like watermelons his head, like
Watermelons.
Can I make a smoothie out of that?
I hope not. That would be very disgusting. But yeah,
Okay. Do you want to segue into anime, or
Sure.
what was how do you get into it? Like at what age? How do you feel about it? How do you connect to it? Or like
Yeah, I got this. So back in high school, I had all kinds of friends that were like into anime, but I actually wasn't really into anime at any point until like I graduated. But I did watch like I didn't like know what Naruto was, and I did watch Pokemon as a kid, but I don't know. I wouldn't really call that. I mean,
That's
it is
so
technically an
little
anime, but
that's for babies.
yeah, I know. Like I watched a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh growing up, a little bit of Dragon Ball Z Kai growing up, but I wouldn't consider myself like a avid anime watcher at that point because I was just like cartoon shows that were showing up on TV. It wasn't until I think my neighbor started introducing me to stuff because she was like really into anime and stuff. I'd go to her house and then she just put on random animes and stuff to like recommend me. And then she'd have me like go home and do homework, like finish the rest of the series. I was like, okay.
Homework.
Yeah.
Write an essay for me. Write an essay for me.
Like one of those animes was, I think the first one she introduced me to was Magi or I think that's how you say it.
Oh no, the anime's
like a genie. I didn't.
Oh wait, it's not. No. I was thinking Madoka Magic, and never mind.
No. It's like about. I think it's about some like magic kid and his genie or something. But, it was like fun adventures. I didn't finish it. I dropped it. I didn't do my homework on that. But yeah, it was too boring. And then I started watching Attack on Titan because I was like, oh, that's anime. Let me just try watching this. I corrected my course and actually just watched something good.
Yeah.
And I binged that series so hard. I binged it so hard, and I ended up watching like, I think I don't remember how many seasons were out at the time, but I finished quite a few seasons up until the end, and then from there I started watching like Sword Art Online, and that's kind of when my career in anime started.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Attack on Titan as your first anime. It's just a good anime overall. So much lore, story, the characters, like the it's very realistic. So,
yeah, I mean, Magi wasn't bad, but it just didn't feel like my cup of tea. That's kind of like why I changed to something else.
No wonder you didn't like Fairy Tail.
No, I mean, I watched the whole entirety of Fairy Tail, but it's just like comparing it to everything else I watched. It's like I don't know. It's like stale bread at this point when you compare it to everything I've watched. I watched Fairy Tail pretty early on, I'd say.
I guess I'll go. Right. So the way I got into anime was many eons ago, ages ago, a time before Christ. I'm just kidding. I got into it very early when I was like 4 or 5. Like I would watch Dragon Ball Z with my cousins back in like 2000 or something, like 99, 2001 or so, 2002. And I was like, wait, this show's kind of cool. It's action packed. It's cool. The shiny yellow hair is awesome. I want to watch more of that. And then after that, like I would watch Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. It would air like on like Saturdays and stuff, like Saturday morning blocks. Back in the old days when basic cable had Saturday morning blocks, like the Fox Box, Fox Kids, 4Kids, like kind of thing. 4Kids, and then I saw like the Mega Man anime, Mega Man NT Warrior. I'm like, and I got into that, and then like after that, it wasn't until I didn't get really good. I didn't really get into anime until 2005 when a little show called Naruto premiered on Cartoon Network, and
Oh,
that show blew my mind. For a kid my age, I'm like, dang, look at that action. Like, actually, I relate to that kid. He's like almost, he could be literally almost be like my age. Like, he's a kid. I'm a kid. You know, like I want to be that guy. And like all the kids were talking about it, like all the Naruto merch, the headbands, the games, the toys back in the day. And then I got more into anime as time went on. But I didn't get I would watch a little bit of anime in like middle school, but like not that much. I hardly watch anime now I think about it, but like I got really heavily into anime like I think like you know, like when you guys were talking when you guys were discussing I know I got really into anime by 2012. Yes. Like I think like a freshman or sophomore in high school. And I
yeah.
saw like more different animes like from this anime blog called Toonami. That many people in the US know about it because many people in the US got into anime because of this anime blog called Toonami that aired on Cartoon Network and where they aired iconic shows like One Piece, Dragon Ball, Naruto, that kind of stuff.
What time did it air?
It would air. Oh, it would air like that.
Like what time?
It would air on Saturdays. I think like 7 or 8 p.m. Like every Saturday.
Oh, okay.
And then
yeah, that's probably why I never ended up watching it because it was late at night.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I went to bed early those days.
And then as time went on, like the anime blog like changed time to like I think like 12 a.m. And like I was like, okay, fine. But yeah, then I started like getting more into anime like once you guys were into it and I was more into it because I saw you guys discussing it. Like, oh yeah, I can finally discuss anime with somebody. I'm not the weirdo.
You mean like in high school at the lunch table when I remember when like you guys were talking about like SAO or something.
Yeah. You were talking about it, Danny, Ryan, and I was like, okay, yeah. I think I found the people that shared my same hobby. Cool. Yeah. That's awesome. And now I watch way too much anime. I need to dial it back. Too much. I'm starting to notice like tropes. I'm like, oh yeah, I know that trope. Yeah, I know what's gonna happen. You know, I can predict what's gonna happen. But yeah.
The first 5 seconds of an anime plays, the song plays, and you're like, I already know how this ends.
You already know when the guy's gonna trip and like a girl's gonna fall on top of him. I already know when like the Shonen protagonist gonna be like the Shonen protagonist gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lose it, and like, oh no, I got a power up. You know. But yeah. Anyways, Danny.
I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
All right. So my story when it comes to anime is it resembles Joey's because growing up, I grew up with the shows like Pokemon, a little bit of Digimon, a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh, as well as what else was out there? I think Bakugan. I grew up with watching those shows, and at the time as a kid, I didn't know what anime was. All I knew was like, oh, cartoons were cartoons. To me, Total Drama Island. What else was there? Danny Phantom. We're just the same as like Pokemon and Digimon were. You know, they were just, to me as a kid, cartoons were cartoons. And then going into high school, I think it was sophomore year, that's when I was introduced to anime. Actually, before I was introduced to anime as well, I knew Cesar from middle school because our families went to the same church at the time, and so I got to know Cesar through there. And I've been to Cesar's place after we got to know each other. I've been to Cesar's place, and he even showed me his recordings that he made from, you know, Toonami and whatnot on Cartoon Network when his favorite anime would pop up, and he would recommend anime to me, but I never really took it into consideration. I was like, okay, yeah, he's recommending me shows that he likes, but I wasn't really into anime.
What anime did I recommend you back then? Do you remember?
I don't. I don't remember. I think probably Naruto or maybe even Dragon Ball, or it was
Spider-Man Wonderland, Full Metal
No,
Alchemist.
Space Dandy. I think you recommended Space
Oh.
Dandy.
Space. Oh yeah, Space Dandy. I
Space
love
Dandy,
that
and
show.
what was the other one? It's like shoot, I can't remember, but it's like a late '80s, early '90s anime. He's like a detective or something.
Detective.
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop. I did.
Cowboy Bebop. I think you recommended Cowboy Bebop to me.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's weird. Huh. I didn't watch
I
Cowboy
think-
Bebop until like way later, like in college.
You probably saw
Okay,
like a little
then-
bit of it, and you're like, "Hey, check out
Maybe.
this."
All I know is I remember you showing me your recordings, like on the DVR, and I was like, okay,
yeah.
he likes these shows. I'm not into it, but you know, I appreciate that he's sharing his interest with me. But it wasn't until like sophomore year that this kid named Ryan, he introduced me to anime. Between Ryan and I, we had this other mutual friend, who we both hung out with again since middle school, and we went. That mutual friend invited us over to his place, and then that's where Ryan showed me the anime called Sword Art Online, and I watched it. I watched it all the way up to where I think Yui dies or something. Where like the fake child between Kirito and Asuna dies.
Oh right.
Oh yeah.
And
Those.
it was like 9 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. at the time when we finished that episode, and of course I needed to go home. But the entire time, like on the car ride from my friend's place to my place, I was just thinking about the anime. I was like, oh my god, I need to finish this anime. I need to finish this. I need to catch up on the series. Like I couldn't stop thinking about the series. And then of course, you know, I found out about pirating anime and whatnot, being able to watch it on like pirated websites. And so I watched it. I caught up, and I told my during high school as well. We would there was this room that we would sit in to eat during lunch, and that's where Cesar, me, and Joey, and the other kid Ryan, we would sit and we would just talk about the shows that we've watched, the animes that we watched, the music that we listen to and whatnot, our interests and whatnot. And I told them there, it's like, oh my god, I caught up on the series. It's amazing. I love it. And that's why I love Sword Art Online. I know that it gets clowned on a lot. It gets, you know, made fun of a lot. But to me, it holds a special place in my heart because it's what introduced me into anime. Is it the best anime out there? No, it's not. But you know, I hold it. It I guess you could say it has like sentimental value to me because it's what introduced me to this world of anime. Because from there, I went on to watch other stuff like let's see, like Nisekoi, Chivalry of a Failed Knight. So like that kind of stuff is what I was watching during high school. And then once I got out of high school, I started getting introduced to more stuff like Urusei Yatsura, Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. So more I'd say animes that would require a more a unique taste, I guess you could say. So that's pretty much my journey into anime. Sophomore year, I got introduced into Sword Art Online, and now I'm at where I'm at.
Now you are at the level of weeb. Now Jaskaran, on the other hand, hasn't had as much like experience with anime, but he did watch some growing up. I'm sure that he will explain.
Jaskaran, take it away.
All right, so basically, I'm like Danny in the same sense. Like I didn't know what it was. I used to watch Cartoon Network when I was young.
Yeah, that's for sad.
And there's a bunch of shows I used to watch on Cartoon Network, like The Amazing Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I used
I
to
love
watch
that
that
show.
one.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and I used to watch Ed, Edd and Eddie,
Classic.
and I think Johnny Bravo was on there too.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
love Johnny Bravo so much.
It doesn't look Jenny probably was a cool dude.
And Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Mhm.
Oh, the best one ever.
Yeah, I could go. The list goes on for a while. Like I used to just watch binge watch Cartoon Network, and eventually it got to the point where I'd stay on to Cartoon Network for like late at night, and that's when like the only anime that I've ever watched that I really enjoyed popped up was Naruto, and
Classic.
I actually introduced it to my cousin too, and he like I went through like because Naruto is a pretty big anime. I didn't complete it, but I got really far in it. I remember. But my cousin actually went back and completed it just recently, so it was like and he's watching way more anime than me. But yeah, I'm planning to start on something like I heard Joey was telling me that there's a really good anime that I should watch.
Oh yeah, One Piece.
It's
One Piece. Yeah.
It's long,
Yeah,
but
I've
pretty
seen
good.
them on later on Cartoon Network too, and I've seen like glimpse of it. Because I recall seeing a dude that has like really stretchy arms.
Yep.
It's,
Yeah, that's Luffy.
That Luffy, yeah. That Luffy. Yeah,
Yeah, so and I remember being really interesting, but I was just like at an age point where I kind of couldn't really understand what was going on inside of it.
Yeah.
I understood Naruto like way more because it literally that show started. It was so weird the timing of how it started. It started on Cartoon Network, and I watched it from like day one when it started.
bro, me too. Me too. We probably watched it at the same time.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Watch the premiere, man.
So it was just like I happened to be there for the premiere, and I just remember like enjoying that show. It was like I was like, wow, this is like the best show I've ever watched.
Also, considering that you're now, I guess you could say, have a more interest in anime, would you ever go to an anime convention?
Oh yeah, I would be down. Like, and they got cars too. Like
Yeah,
a lot
they
of people, really nice cars. They get wraps with anime on it. It's like
Yeah.
you'd be surprised how many people got like we even went to Monterey and we saw Murcielago, and that guy had a whole anime wrap on it.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so it's like I wouldn't mind it,
You know, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, you saw it day one. This was like it was the year 2005. I remember it clear as day. It was the best day of my life.
Oh, that's crazy. I have no idea what I was doing in 2005.
I remember like all the kids on the playground were like discussing it and like, oh, you see that anime Naruto? Like, bro, that kid, look at that ninja kid. You see that ninja kid? Like, bro, it's so savage, like it's so bloody and gory. Bro, look at the
My
way he
friends
fights.
were talking about SpongeBob.
What the heck? It's hilarious. Yeah,
The
but
people I was hanging out with, like, during that time, they were just like, actually, hang on. Was I even in elementary school at that time?
2005? You were like
2005.
Yeah.
I was like 4 or 5 years old.
maybe kindergarten, first grade.
Kindergarten, first grade. Because I was going to say, like, my people I was hanging out with at the time were just talking about cooties and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
Like,
we
don't get
we
touched by
talked
a
about
girl.
that too.
Like,
oh yeah,
remember that the cooties thing.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that.
like if you touch a girl or something, or like if a
Like,
girl touches you,
I remember that.
I remember too. Like,
Dude, the funniest thing was like this kid took everything so seriously, and I actually got in trouble by this kid too. Like this kid, like one day I brought a water gun to school, and you could clearly tell it's a water gun, right? There's like water in it. It was like one of those like Dollar Tree ones. Like you could it was so water gun that you could see the water inside of it. It was like completely clear. I
Mhm.
pointed at him, and he started like shaking. He's like, sorry, man, sorry. And he like put his hand up, and then I was like being super hardcore on him. I was like, get on the ground. Like I was acting like up, and he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And, like, he, like, laid down, and then a
That's-
yard dude
Hey.
grabbed my arm and took my gun away, and I was, like, so depressed because my mom just had got me that morning, and, like, I was so excited about that toy.
Oh
And then it went into
man.
something Doom box. And I swear to God, whatever things that I gotten taken away would end up in that box. I'd never get them back. But the good thing was something like completely better. Like I'd go in the June box and I'd get like a complete better thing. Like I'd get someone else's toy and someone else would get my toy.
Oh, what the heck?
I remember I got my first Star Wars lightsaber from the June box.
Those are pricey.
Tweet.
Yeah.
I remember cooties. Like, I remember like in elementary school, like there was this girl named True, and like she would she was like a friend for like a friend, and like for some reason like one day she was being acting kind of weird, and like she was like trying to touch my hand. I don't know why. Like oh no, and the first were like going. I was like, running.
Ew.
But yeah, it was weird. But I only had one incident with the cooties thing, you know, the cooties thing. And it was
For me, it was like a year-long thing. Like I had the group of
Year
boys,
long?
and then there was like a group of girls, and we played the cooties tag game basically, where we just like
Cootie.
they just basically chased us.
Yeah, that was how it was like at my school too. Damn,
Right.
that's weird. That was a thing that went on through every single school. I thought it was just like our school, but I guess like
No, apparently, yeah, it's every single school because I remember like I think it was second grade or something. I was going to elementary school in Hayward because that's where I used to live during that time. I remember I was just hanging out with some friends of mine. We were just like running around and whatnot. And then there were these girls that lined up in front of us with like flowers in their hands, and then they started chasing us. Like, it was like a very traumatizing experience for me as a kid, because I still remember it to this day. Like,
Yeah.
I still
Wow.
remember like the girl just lining up like there in front of us, just like in front of me, my friends, and all that. And then they just started chasing us, and then my friends and I just wanted to get away from the girls.
kind of interesting because the way like when I was a kid, like I wasn't really scared like of cooties. I've only had like one thing happen, like I'm like, oh no. But I was like, oh, this is freaking weird. Why am I doing this? And like the interesting is because I think it's because I hanged out with a lot of girls when I was a kid. Like there's a lot of girls like they're like my next door neighbors when I in this other old house I used to live in. And then there were like my cousins, they were also girls. And I guess I really didn't I wasn't really like, scared or, into the whole cooties trend as other people, I guess.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
you know what other trend there was? This kid was like one time I was like in recess and like he was like, "Hey bro, come here." And I like went with him somewhere. He's like, "We're gonna play a game called Bloody Knuckles."
What?
I was like,
Oh no.
Oh my god, bloody knuckles! I remember that.
I remember I was just at recess. This kid was like, "Yo, follow me." I was like, "All right, I'll follow you." He like took me to like the side of the school, and he's like, "You got some quarters?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got quarters." And then he got quarters out. He's like, "All right, put them in your fist." And I was like, I put them in my fist, and then he's like, "All right." He's like, "This is how it's gonna work." He's like, "I'm gonna punch your knuckles with quarters in my hand, and whoever drops the quarter first loses." Right?
Mm-hmm.
Went at it, like he started punching my knuckles, I started punching his knuckles, and my knuckles got really red, and then I dropped the quarters, and I was like, "Ah, that hurts." And then he's like, "Yep, that's the game."
That's the game.
Yep. That's the game.
Congratulations.
And then did he pick up the quarters on the ground, or were they your quarters or his?
I don't remember that much. Like I think the winner gets like all the quarters or something.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
I remember also when I was in elementary school, the Bloody Knuckles game was still popular, and but I don't remember playing it with quarters. It was just like our fists, just our fists as is, and whoever gives in to the pain loses.
Jaskaran played the hardcore version.
I do remember what what Joey showed me like in middle school. Like, remember Joey? Like, you put your hand out like on a flat surface. You would like get a pencil and like you like
Oh
try
yeah.
to like, what's it called?
Where you
What's the name
basically
called?
hit the pencil in between the fingers and you go chop 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 chop.
Hey, remember that?
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
I got really good at that
Or
at one
or
point.
you would
You did. I was like,
or
dang.
you would do it with like a plastic knife or something.
I did it with a pencil. I don't think I
Joey
did it with
did
a
it.
knife.
Joey, I think Joey did it on me. I was like, dang, this guy's gonna kill me.
Oh, yeah, I
Like,
did do it
they-
on you. I trust
like,
me.
they-
Just trust me.
But you did it. Yeah, I didn't get hurt. It
Wow,
came
that's
out.
crazy.
Hey, alright.
I wonder where that confidence went.
What? What do
I
you mean?
remember also like one of the bigger trends at the elementary school that I was at. It was to see who the fastest guy was. So we would just line up and then race each other and see whoever was fastest,
Oh, man.
whoever was like the fastest runner.
Anyways, we
Which
have
nowadays I think is weird.
yeah. Kids did a bunch of dumb stuff back in the day, but gladly we didn't have. Gladly we were older, that we didn't have to like do like the freaking challenges, like the cinnamon challenge, like those crazy challenges, like all your hurt.
Tide Pod.
Yeah. Luckily,
Oh god,
we
the
avo-
Tide Pod thing, yeah.
I'm really glad we avoided those. We were old people and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
Cinnamon challenge,
Oh, yeah.
but Joey, me do it.
Oh yeah, you did want to do the cinnamon challenge. I was like, no. Because I already heard the stories by then. At that point, I'm like, it's too dangerous.
I thought it was a good idea because I really love the cereal called Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, it's a good cereal.
So I thought it can't be as harmful as it is because I eat cinnamon every morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I really, but Joey was like, no, it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
My wife's sister came recently from Canada, and she was claiming she could eat the most spiciest sauces because at her work, she tries them all the time. And I told her I the most spicy sauce in the world.
Did she try it?
Man,
Yep, she tried it.
Did it
And
affect
she-
her?
Yep, she teared up.
Oh dang.
she got
Okay, I was about to say
sentimental.
because some people actually have like a certain gene that makes them pretty much immune to the effects of spice.
So she's like that, but she said that was kind of extreme. She said she's glad that she didn't take as much as she was planning to dump a lot of it, and I could tell she was because she like pretty much shook the bottle and like some squirted out.
Yeah.
Speaking about like spicy foods, have you ever heard of like that one the spicy chip where they only give
Yes,
you
the one chip challenge.
chip? The one
Yes,
chip
I
challenge.
wanna
Jaskaran, you
try
bought
that.
that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I
Didn't you?
have a lot of dumb stuff like this sauce that I still have the hot sauce if anyone wants to try
No,
it.
I'm okay. No, but did you try
I
the
wanna
one?
try it.
Did you do the one chip challenge? I thought you did.
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did.
How did that
How do you
turn
feel
out?
How do you feel about after that?
So I had the worst stomach ache in the face of the planet.
Oh no.
Felt like my intestines were about to explode. And
Yeah.
Dang.
like really numb from how spicy that chip was.
So was it just one chip? Because I don't know. Do they like do they have just
Mine was
like
worse.
different like levels of spiciness? Just one chip, or is it that like they just sell the spiciest chip they can sell?
I think it's just the spicy. I think it's just one spicy chip. The spiciest one chip.
I thought there was
You can
only like
get.
one. Yeah, there's only like one type of chip.
Do you
that was it.
remember Peter from our school?
Wait, who?
Anish and Peter?
Kind of.
There was a Anish and there was a Peter. I don't know if they yeah. So they're both like really smart, but they're like Ethan kind of. They're like the smart kids, right?
Yeah.
Basically Peter gave me like a image that I can never like get out of my head. So he used to eat these chips called pirate booties.
Oh, I remember those. I used to eat those.
Man.
say he dipped inside a urinal and ate it in front
Oh
of me.
my!
No.
And I literally barfed almost in my mouth because that was like the most disgusting shit. He did it as a dare in front of like a bunch of kids. But like till this day, I get such yuck PTSDs from that. Even thinking about that.
You know, I imagined a different outcome. I thought you were gonna like. I thought you didn't know what pirate's booty was, and I thought you looked it up on the internet and something else came up.
It's literally just
I
a
didn't
pirate's
think you were
booty.
gonna, like, yeah, I didn't think you were gonna go like the story was gonna go to the
In
length
that
of like
direction.
someone, yeah, like in that direction. It's like,
Yeah.
God, it's like, yeah, no, we did like some stupid things as kids.
And that takes the cake right there.
That pretty much takes like urinal cake.
Mhm. There's this
No, that's like what.
Peter's scenario is so many kids witnessed it that even if he wants to say he never did it, if any of those kids are around, they're gonna be like, "Yep, he did it."
Yeah. There was this
Bruh.
one girl that I knew, and she was just like wild. Like we did all kinds of crazy and dumb stuff, but I remember at one point I just pointed at a random spider. I'm like, I dare you to eat that, and she just did. I was like, okay.
No way. No way.
Yeah.
Oh no.
God,
Oh.
dude, what the heck?
Disgusting.
Why?
Why?
Granted, the spider was kind of small, but still, it was like, the
Bruh.
heck?
You could still like you feel like crunch it and like the freaking stuff would come out. Bruh. No, it tastes better.
This spider thing makes me remind me of that one kid that because there's this kid that showed up in our high school. His name was Tion. He came from like the Philippines. Bro, have you seen Man vs. Wild?
Yeah.
How this guy is, bro. He caught a freaking hummingbird. He went up a tree and caught a hummingbird.
What? Ow. They're so
Dude.
fast.
Fast. He literally just like threw his hand out, grabbed it, brought it down. And he's like, "Hey, have you ever seen a hummingbird?" And I was like, "No." And he showed me, and I was like, "How the hell did you catch that?"
What the?
Oh, the funny thing he did, a praying mantis fell off a tree. I don't know. Always there was a tree around him, right? A praying mantis fell off a tree and fell down. He grabbed it, threw it up, and the praying mantis was like trying to grab onto a branch, and it just fell every time he tried to throw it up.
Oh my god.
What the? Hey, that guy's wild. That's for sure.
Yeah, that guy, dude, like, I was amused because, like, if you ever seen a hummingbird, that's like the fastest bird. If you could catch that, you could catch whatever freaking thing there is out there in the world.
Bro, I want them. My goal, one of my goals is to have hummingbirds feed off my hand. Like I put like maybe like get a little like cup or something, or like and like with like the sweet water, like make it red and like drink out of it, and like I just like the hummingbirds like lay on my hand as they feed and stuff. That'd be so
It's
cool.
funny that you say that because as a kid, back when we used to go on vacation to Tahoe, there's all kinds of birds around, and I was like, I wanted to get it. I got a branch and I stood out on the porch and I just stood still for like 30 minutes until a bird landed on the branch.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You're persistent, man. I want
Yep.
to do that.
What kind of bird was it?
I think I attempted it with like, I don't know. I can't really recall. It's been like a long time, but it was just a small bird. It wasn't anything crazy.
So, like, speaking of birds, when I was really young, I used to go to India a lot. My dad got me 2 parrots, and I was like the most happiest kid in the world because I'd never really gotten any pets in my life. All the pets that I've had to return them.
Oh,
So I
they're
was
gonna say all the pets I had, they died.
Oh,
And I said,
that
yeah, right.
why I returned all my pets were exactly because of that reason, Caesar. My parents were superstitious. They were like, "Oh, if the pet dies, we're gonna be cursed with bad luck."
no.
Oh no.
I got 2 parrots. I was like so happy, but I didn't have the IQ to keep 2 parrots basically.
Thank
So
you.
I remember like it was like the second day, and I was like, I want to feed the parrots. I want to feed the parrots. They're like, go ahead, right? And I went and I opened the cage and I grabbed the food. And when I came back, one of the parents were gone.
Oh, escaped.
Well, and then my mom's
Dang.
like, "Yeah, the other one's gonna go depressed. You have to let go of the other one too." And I was just
Oh
very sad.
no.
I still have
Dang.
PTSD. I was like, "Why did I let it?" It was like one of those feelings. Remember, when you're a kid, you have a balloon, and then the balloon flies away out of your hand. That's how it was to me.
Man, I want a bird so badly. I want to
It's
land on my
loud.
shoulder.
Having a bird is loud.
It depends. It depends. I want
Well,
to
it
Because
depends what kind of
no.
bird you get.
Well, yeah, I had what did I have? I don't know. I had like a gray
You
listen,
had fish.
no, yeah, I had fish and I also had a bird at one point. And this thing would
You
just squawk and squawk every morning.
Joe, you told me that you put some chemical on your fish tank and it blew.
It went blue?
No, your tank just like the glass erupted.
Oh. Yeah, to be honest, I don't think it was anything I was putting in it because like it kind of just started leaking one day and there's like a crack. And basically we had to just give my fish to my neighbors and then I just never had fish again after that point.
What the heck?
It's kind of crazy because after we emptied the fish tank, I had this just weird feeling. I was just like, man, that would suck if there's like a fish still in there. And I looked in there and there was a fish still in there, just like because no water was in it anymore and the fish was just kind of hanging out. But we put it in the other tank and it was swimming around just fine, so it was able to live.
I think you have
Dang.
the foresight to check on your fish.
I kept one, bro, and I put like too much like tap water or whatever, and I got an ear infection. And then my mom, I couldn't even return it because Petco was like, no. See, your fish got an ear infection. You put that in our tank, all our fishies gonna have ear infection. You got to take care of that by yourself, son. And then I went to Walmart to take it back, and they're like, "We'll take it."
Walmart just kills it.
Don't say that. I'll feel bad. So they took it.
I mean, it's Walmart. What do you expect? Yeah, it's Walmart.
Wait, I always forget that like Walmart has like a section for like fish.
They don't anymore.
They don't.
Apparently,
They don't. They don't have fish anymore.
Really? That sucks.
you guys. Apparently, you're not supposed to let those fish that you get from Petco out into the seas because they could literally form a gang and extinct other fishes.
Oh yeah. Well,
they multiply.
Like, yeah.
I was like,
they mess up the ecosystem of like they multiply, have a lot of babies, and then like it just like they take away all the food from the other fishes, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it happens all the time with even other animals. Like a lot of people take pets and they take them to foreign countries and accidentally let them free, and they get introduced into the ecosystem. And sometimes they just outcompete everything in it and kind of just destroy the ecosystem. They basically become pests. It happens everywhere.
Yeah, like
there's like the cats. There's like an infestation of cats in Australia taking away food from other animals, I guess. And not food. I think they're killing off like the rare bird species and rare animals there.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I told a pet guy at Stockton, I was like, I'm gonna take all you guys' fish, I'm gonna buy them all, right? I was like, I'm gonna cash out like over 2,000. I'm gonna just let them all out in the ocean, and he like freaked out. He was like, "Oh, you can't do that." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, that's illegal too.
He gave me like a 2-hour lecture on why not. I was like, "Geez Louise, I'm never gonna say that again."
Wow.
You just gave that guy PTSDs.
Honestly, for like, you said $2,000, right?
No, I was just like, because fishes aren't that expensive, right? They're like what, 99 cents, 50 cents?
It depends what kind of fish you want.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna just take as many as I can. I was like, I'm gonna just release them all in the ocean. And he like freaked out.
Yeah.
I mean, because I would bet that there would be like an employee there who just wouldn't care simply because you're willing to spend that much money on getting a lot of fish. Yeah, sure, just go ahead and take them. What you do with it is your problem.
Yeah. That one was
I'm,
like a super like what you call it? You could tell he was like me with cars, but with pets. That's the type of guy he was.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a reptile store out here in Stockton. If you guys ever want to check it out, they have like a humongous python that's like in like a 3 cage.
A
yeah,
python.
I'm good on pythons, my guy. Like
Yes.
when it comes to like those kinds of reptiles, I like to admire them, but from a safe distance.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
I like
don't worry.
snakes. I like snakes. One time I went like I think twice. I've had like boas around my neck, and like I took a picture and stuff. And it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I did that once.
I like the way they feel. It's very smooth. Like
Yeah.
it's very. It's like it feels warm. It was kind of warm. It was like a yellow boa, and like it's like this thing is heavy, but like it's like warm. It feels like it's hugging me. I like this. I like this feeling. I like this snake.
Yeah, as a kid, like we would sit. I don't remember where this was. It might have just been at school or somewhere. But we sat in a circle and we basically just passed the snake from one person to the next.
It's funny how like you can just pass a snake to somebody else and like the snake is like, what the? Where am I? What? It's just like disorienting. Like, why you pass me like somebody else? Where am I? Man, snakes are quite cool.
Speaking of snakes, cars.
Oh yeah,
How does snakes and cars relate to each other though?
cars are like snakes. They go
Unless
hiss.
you're like,
Wait.
you wanna,
They're so similar because they both hiss. Kind of. They go vroom vroom or eh.
Oh, there's a new
Yeah.
car, Hennessy Venom F5 or V5, I think so.
F5.
F5, yeah. So Venom kind of relates with the snake, right?
That's wrong. I wanted to ask you how you got into your love, admiration, hobby of liking cars. How do you got into it?
Okay. It's a very
Since you are the car guy, we have to know about you, the car guy. You know,
Okay.
your biggest hobby.
So my obsession kind of started with just my childhood in general when I was young. When I was young, basically, I used to really love the car toy, you know, the Hot Wheels.
Yeah,
And
same. I
it
remember
was actually
hobbies.
my cousin at one point used to go to, I don't know what they call it at school when you're like really young. Like before you even go to school, you go to some type of school. What do they call it?
Preschool?
Preschool.
Yeah, that. All right. So yeah, me and my cousin used to go to the same preschool, and there was always these kids that had like the sickest like Hot Wheels. I think they had like actually the Hot Wheels they had are like really nice cars now. Actually, like one had like a really old Porsche, and people modify these type of Porsches nowadays. So, and I remember they'd have like the sickest cars like ever. And one day, both those kids just left the Hot Wheels out by a fountain
Uh-oh.
for return for them. And then me and my cousin were like, "Oh yeah, you know, like they totally don't care about their toys, so let's just take them." So we did that, and from there my obsession kind of started. Like you know, I was like, "Oh, these Hot Wheels are really nice." I used to go to stores, just get whatever Hot Wheels that I can get my hand on. Then there was this another toy company that came made cars dub edition cars. I don't even remember the name of the toy company. They made a dub edition of every single car. Like they'd have like an Escalade SUV. They was like soup it up, and I got a Murcielago that was like super souped up. And by the way, the Murcielago, that car at the time that I used to like it was only like I think like 400,000 or $300,000. Now it's currently up to $1 million. So as I grew,
Wow.
How
values
does
of some cars just
which ask
changed
him like
too.
how does a car like increase in value? Is it because it's like rare?
Yeah, so Murcielago, one thing that's unique about that exotic car is it's a Lamborghini first, and the second thing is you could get that car in a gated manual transmission. and most Lamborghinis now aren't they're not manual, like legit manual. They're manual with DCT, so they have paddle shifters, but they're not manual as where you could shift each gear. And to most people, like, oh, like some people that don't like cars, that like, that aren't into cars that much, they're like, oh, that's not like that big of a deal. But the Murcielago is gated, so every time you like, there's some stuff that you find that's like very satisfying, like I don't know, like something that just like satisfy you, and it could be something completely random, like it could be like those fidget spinners, like people, because it satisfies them, right? Okay, so with the Murcielago, what made it like one? Actually, there's two things. I forgot like the main thing. All right. Well, there's two things. First, it's a V12, and Lamborghini just announced they're not going to be making no more V12s. Everyone's moving into, sadly, electric cars.
Oh yes,
And
the
that's,
electric pandemic.
yep, that's when I think my passion for cars will not be the newest cars, it'll be the oldest cars. I'll be an old car geek at that point. The second reason why the Murcielago is so good is the manual transmission is gated. And so, like a fidget spinner, people spin that fidget spinner because they like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the Murcielago, every time you shift the gear, it makes like a shotgun click noise. And it's like the most satisfying thing.
So would you say it's like the sound of the car that like
Like
is what?
every shifting a gear is that high rev, high noise of the valve, and then you're getting that click every time you're shifting the gear. And like from the YouTuber I watched, that's where I kind of got this information. He said it's like the most satisfying thing. Like he craves it. And unfortunately, one of his mechanics totaled his. He had a SV, but yeah, he really loved that car. Even through like the Murcielago, the sad thing about that car is it from a lot of people that have seen that gotten that car faces a lot of mechanical problems, and since it's such an old car, parts take so long to get, and you have to get parts from Italy, where the car is from.
That sounds expensive. But yeah,
Yeah.
Josh, what kind of type? What kind? What how can I say this? Let me rephrase it. What type of cars do you like the most? Like
So my passion for cars can go from anything from hyper cars to I like classic is like I'm not like too knowledgeable about classic, like the Charger RT that you have on your Forza game. Yeah, that's pretty sick. Like I know that's like a classic Charger RT, and a lot of people really admire that one. There's a Boss 67 GT too that a lot of people like. So like I know like, and like the older Supras, and the Supra that were older, the MK4, I believe. That, like I know that, like the older model Supras, and I know like the R34 Nissan GTR Skyline.
will you say Josh, do you like sports cars the most?
Yeah, I like faster. I'm not like into roll. So there's classes like, like someone that's like, super wealthy either can go for like something like, so like a businessman that's owning a lot of businesses and stuff like that, you'd expect him to go for like a Rolls Royce or a Bentley.
Yeah.
I'm not into Rolls Royce. I'm not into the comfort of the car and what features it has. I'm mostly into the for the driver to its engine, like when you're hitting that, like I'll give you an example, like a couple like what I'm thankful in this life, I've gotten to drive a lot of cars that ordinary person wouldn't get to drive. Like I've gotten to drive a Lamborghini Huracan, I've gotten to drive a McLaren 570S.
You said previously you found these cars at car meets, right? Around the California?
No. So like most of the cars that I see in car meets, I got to sit in them, but I didn't get to drive them. But the ones that I got to drive, like the Huracan, I know two people that own a Huracan, So that they like one's my cousin, so he let me drive it, and for the GTR I rented it, and I also rented the McLaren. So like there's like differences, like a normal person would sit in these cars and they wouldn't be able to tell, but me, I have like a connection with the engine. So like with the Huracan, what I noticed, it was naturally aspirated, right? So it's like when you're pressing the throttle, I felt it way more direct, the acceleration for the Huracan. It had an insane amount of torque. Rather than when I drove the McLaren, it's turboed. So the turbos took some time to pick up. So I could feel that. But for a normal person, they would be like, oh, they both feel super fast to me. But I could feel like what like the total differences were and like why enthuse what car more.
Is turbo like when you say turbo like work up, like you mean like it just like powers up and like then it starts?
Yeah.
Oh.
So basically from like I'm not, let's see, that the other thing is like I know about cars. I know some stuff about like turbochargers and superchargers, but I'm not like super like perfect. Like Danny's there to protect me. But turbo basically just gets air and cools off the engine for higher output performance of the engine.
Actually, do you want me to explain how a turbocharger works?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Probably no harder to say.
Dumb it down for me and Joey.
Yeah, explain like a
All right.
over 5.
So, how can I explain it to you guys if you're 5?
Cargo, vroom vroom.
So
fast,
essentially,
fast, vroom, vroom.
what a turbocharger is think of it this way. It's like it's well, I mean, it's not exactly stored energy, but it's just something that gives the car, or like the car, it gives the car, like, it helps it go faster. Just think of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a turbocharger and a supercharger do, except the supercharger gives that boost of power a bit more instant, whereas the turbocharger lags behind a bit, because to put it simply, supercharger is connected to the I believe it's the crankshaft of the engine.
You said
So,
shaft.
yeah, haha, a shaft joke. So the supercharger is connected to the crankshaft of the engine, and it makes where it does get power a bit more instantly, but there's also sacrifice in power, because there is the horsepower, that extra boost of power. It has to travel quite a ways, I guess you could say distance, to the wheels, in order to be able to, like, I guess you could say, get it going. Whereas the turbocharger doesn't really, the boost in power that comes from a turbocharger doesn't have that disadvantage. But the disadvantage that a turbocharger has when compared to a supercharger is that it lags behind, like how Jaskaran was explaining earlier in, what was it, the McLaren? Jaskaran?
Yeah, the McLaren was turbocharged.
Yeah. So it has to spool up, and what it means to spool up is the exhaust enters the turbocharger, and that spins the little turbine that's within that turbocharger, and in doing so, it lets more cold air enter the engine, and so it helps with like the compression within the engine. It just makes it go. It just makes it go faster. I mean, that's the best way I can I can think, and like dumbing it down for you guys.
It is the job of a turbocharger to compress more air flowing into the engine cylinders. When air is compressed, the oxygen molecules are packed closer together. This increases in air means that more fuel can be added for the same size naturally aspirated engine.
So it just makes it more efficient or something?
Yeah, it just makes it more efficient for the time that the turbocharger is doing its job. It's working.
Yeah.
It lets the engine squeeze more air into the cylinders.
Wait, so is a supercharger just way better?
Yeah, supercharger is more direct, but it depends on
Yeah.
like what you're going. It literally depends on the car too, what type of like if you're going for like I'd say like turbo would be better if you're going around tracks and stuff like that. And a supercharger essentially is more into muscle cars, people that are going for drag races because they want that direct power.
Okay.
So with the turbo, yeah, it's gonna build up speed and stuff like that, but that's good because in a track, you're not really focusing on going straight. You're trying to make turns too at a high speed.
Yeah,
But like
you're
also with the whole the disadvantage of the turbocharger being, of course, that it takes some time for like that boost in power to kick in. Um, Ayrton Senna, like a really popular Formula One driver, what he would do as he's going through the corner is that he would essentially like pump the gas or the throttle, I should say. He would pump the throttle in order to be able to spool up the turbocharger. So in doing so, he's compensating for that lag. So as soon as he comes out of the corner, the car just shoots out.
Okay.
So like there's like certain tricks there
Pretty neat.
to use the turbocharger, but there's also people who use turbochargers when it comes to drag racing.
Oh, they do. Yeah, there are that do that setup, but but mostly what I've seen though is like, with like between both of them, most pick, for drag races, pick supercharger, and for track use of like, you wouldn't take a freaking Challenger Hellcat into a track. That's not its own. But you take something like a Nissan GTR to a track, right?
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you, Jaskaran. So you're active on social media. You like to do stuff there. What do you want? What's your goals? Like, what are you trying to do? Like right now, like for example, like Instagram or so. Like,
Yeah, so I have been, posting on Instagram a lot. I have a couple of videos that did kind of go viral on my Instagram.
yeah,
I don't know if Joey could pull it up, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I can.
So all right, yeah. So like you can go through my videos too, but there's some videos that I did get quite a views on. I am trying to get a bunch of followers and viewers on my Instagram so I can eventually convert them to my YouTube channel. I haven't started my YouTube channel yet, but I am planning to start that soon. But yeah, I really
you
love cars. The
Out of all the cars that you've seen in person, what would you say is your most favorite that you've seen?
Definitely the McLaren P1, and
Why? Well, why is that? Why the McLaren P1?
so at the time the McLaren P1 came out, three other hypercars had released at the time. The LaFerrari was one of them, and the Porsche 918. And it was a big deal at the time when they came out, which one's faster and which one's the better one. And I just remember seeing through what technology, which each three of those cars that came out, the 918, the LaFerrari, and the P1, each had its like unique features and quirks. Like the LaFerrari has a F1 system built into it where it saves its boost while it's going around a track, and just like what you said, Danny, it like shoots it out at certain points. Like I gotta find the video where they show it, like they show it how it's working. But the 918 too, it had like it had crazy features too, like that around the track. 918 had its own like different features. And the P1, I remember I was just interested in that the most because it had two things, DRS and iPass. And basically what the P1's DRS system did was, I mean, like I gotta like look it up too because I don't want to say stuff. I don't want to put out false information. There's a lot. There's a drag reduction system in the motor racing. The drag reduction system is from drivers' adjustable bodywork aimed at reducing aerodynamics and drags in increased top speed. So it's basically what's being used in Formula One cars. You can reduce the drag while you're going around the track, and then there's iPass on top of the DRS system. There's an iPass button too, and it's a power assist system given to the McLaren P1. Astonishing performance. The 0 to 60 will take less than 3 seconds and will achieve in more than 17 seconds. So that helps with, putting out more power. So I just like that. Like the P1's like overall, it's not like any other car where most of these cars use vents to cool off the engine.
Mm-hmm.
The P very aerodynamic. It doesn't have any vents to cool it off. And like the technology behind it is insane. And actually, if you guys look at like what car is the fastest out of all three, I would definitely say the P1. A lot would argue, but if you look at this car person, his name is Lazant. You can look him up. He makes cars, but he converted the P1 GTR, which is the P1, but it's the GTR. It's the track version. I like the P1 because if I was able to get it, I wouldn't always be at the track. The track one is unfortunately, you can't drive the track one on road because it's illegal to be on road. But the P1 R broke the Nürburgring time record.
Ooh.
But the reason why it wasn't official was because they didn't put a license plate on the car.
Oh,
Crazy.
wasn't there a time when you liked the F1 better?
Oh, yeah, dude, I love the F1, but the F1, no one could afford that. Like, that's not even like a goal you can get. Like, the recent one that just sold was like over 40 mil.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like, there's no. Elon Musk had the F1 and he totaled it. He had it when it was $400,000.
Wow.
It was cheaper back then. Now it's like rare as well.
Yeah, like the F1. And there's actually a photo of it on Instagram. Unfortunately, it's not my photo that I took.
How many?
But
You know how many people own that car now? Like, maybe it's so rare and expensive now.
was at Monterey, the car week that we went to, but just to see it was like $60.
$60.
$60 just to see it.
Okay.
My friends that's a car enthusiast, I asked if I couldn't post his photos and he said it, go ahead. He's like, no problem.
$60, bro. I just see a picture with a voice actor thing from my book. But yeah,
Some people
to each their own, you know.
but like I would say I love, like, now it definitely has been hard like looking into cars and stuff like that, but some people love them like extreme. Like I'm not like too knowledgeable. Like I know about cars, but like some people know like every aspect.
I've seen people who married their car.
Yeah, there's people like that too.
Well, I mean, there's crazy people and then there's enthusiasts.
Yeah.
All right then. Let's go to the
Yes.
wheel.
Yes, we are running out of time, so we're gonna quickly do the basically the results of the wheel of anime that we spun last week and kind of talk about the animes that we watched, and then we're gonna end right there. But who wants to go first? And yeah, for Jaskaran, this is just something that we did last week. We're just gonna do this, and then we're gonna end.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just give your thoughts as well. Like, okay, I'm not like the anime, maybe not. You know. Just give your thoughts. All right.
So, do you want to go first, Cesar?
All right. So, on the wheel last week, I got Initial D season 1. I watched it. The first episode was kind of boring, I guess. Episode 2 and 3, like, it picked up a bit more, and I liked it. Yeah, I actually liked it. I like the aesthetic. It's just I'll say like the cars look very weird. Like the computer generated cars look kind of funky and weird. But like the hand drawn arts, like the characters, the backgrounds, like it feels very realistic, like super realistic. And like maybe through Initial D, I might find a new appreciation for cars because of that. It's a good anime. It's pretty good.
Interesting. So yeah, Initial D is a car anime. Do you think Jaskaran would be into
Yeah,
something like Initial
Jaskaran.
D?
That's
Honestly,
actually
yeah.
one that I wanted to recommend to Jaskaran.
I think it's
Okay,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Wait, so
It's a cool-
Caesar, if you were to give Initial D out of the 3 episodes you watched a score, what would you give it?
I think I would have given it like a 7.5. Like the first episode was like really boring, and like I'm like, how do I get invested in like episode 2? And like the main character could be a bit better. It's just like he's just like a Giga Chad. Like I just
I
want
love
to.
Giga Chad MCs.
He's just like he's very plain. He's very plain. The more
Okay.
interesting characters are Ikitani, this other guy is like at a gas station, and I guess the girl, the love interest, and the dad. Yeah, they're much more interesting than the main
Dude,
character.
if you think the main character Takumi is Giga Chad, then I hate to break it to you, my guy. It's his dad.
I like the dad more. He's more interesting.
His dad is the Giga Chad of the anime.
Yeah, but like it's cool. It's an old anime. I like it. Like it looks very. It's like gets me a lot of like nostalgic vibes. Like the color palette, everything about it looks cool. I like it. The music pretty good. They have like Japanese rap. It's pretty cool. Pretty good.
That's pretty sick. And Danny, you watched my recommendation that I put on the wheel, Bakemonogatari. What did you think about that?
I watched it. So I watched the first 3 episodes
Oh my God, you guys-
of Bakemonogatari. And, I actually want to talk about it some more, but seeing as that was going to be a huge spiel, I think I'll save it for the next podcast
Oh
episode.
yeah.
Give it
Since
as
I think I'm I think I'm hosting it.
yeah.
But anyways,
do that.
I watched the first 3 episodes, and the rating I give it is 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right.
I give it a
Wow.
5 out of 10. Actually,
That's
because of this anime, I went back and I not revisit my Bunny Girl Senpai, but what I did is I revisited the score to Bunny Girl Senpai, and I raised it up from 5 out of 10 to 6 out of 10 because of this
Ooh.
anime.
What
Look, I did you a
Because
favor.
of this
I did
anime,
you a
I
favor,
went
Caesar.
back.
I guess so.
I went back to that score that I gave Bunny Girl Senpai, and I
So-
raised it up by 1 just because of this anime.
In a quick review, like why is it you didn't like it? Like just I don't know, a few sentences. I
Give us like a
guess.
small sneak peek into next week.
Okay,
Yes.
so like a small sneak peek.
Don't reveal
it-
all your cards.
The anime tried being, I guess you can say the cinematography of the anime
Yeah, it's
was
different.
being a little
Psychedelic?
The cinematography for this anime was trying to be a little too
Arts-
unique to the point that it got boring.
You could say
Ah,
it's
I see.
you could say it's artsy.
Yeah, it's definitely an artsy.
Yeah, it's trying too hard to be artsy that
Yeah.
it just got boring.
Okay.
But that's it. That's all I'm going to reveal. And next week
All right.
I will talk more about it.
We'll have a whole Bakemonogatari section.
I kind of
And-
want to finish Initial D like before next week, so I can like give you a full review of Initial D season 1. But yes,
Okay. So now for the most surprising thing that you guys are going to hear. I watched X-Arm episode 1 through 3. And everyone's always like egging it on about, like horrible animation and everything. And they're absolutely right. That was the worst garbage animation I've ever seen in my life. And if you've ever played the video game Oblivion, the character expressions in that video game that came out so long ago, those characters are more expressive than what they showed in this anime. But I will say, and this is the surprising part, that the story is not even that half bad. It's actually pretty decent story. And I'm actually thinking of reading the manga, which is like the original source material. The anime did the manga a disservice by what they did with the animation on that anime.
wow, that's
yeah.
crazy. It's
Like
like Berserk.
the only thing this anime has going for it is the story. But your experience will be so much better just like reading the manga. In this, I can already tell, and I kind of want to start reading the manga. But yeah, trash animation, and you go to an anime for the animation, so it's like it's going to be a big part of the score. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, here comes the end of this episode's podcast. Podcast episode. Wait, did I say it backwards? I don't know.
Yeah,
Episode's
you did.
But yes, check us out on our socials. We try to post on Twitter, Instagram, and and TikTok. Yeah. Also, me and Joey.
I am trying really hard on the TikTok.
That's fine.
You're doing a good job.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could keep it up.
No, you got this.
And also check out Jaskaran's Instagram. He posts a lot of car stuff. Yeah, car stuff. Yeah, check him out. He's a cool dude. You'll see lots of cool
Jazzy Car Shots on Instagram.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
And one last thing, me and Joey are trying to do Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Get us on Twitch and stuff. Yeah. We play variety games. We play variety games, co-op games, like anime games. It's anything. Indie games, horror games, anything. But yeah. And that's about it, really. See you guys later.
All right, bye guys.
See ya.